Everywhere I look around, love is in the air, every sight and every sound. And I know that I'm not being foolish, I know that I'm being wise, and it's something that I must believe in, 'cause it's there when I look in your eyes. Love is in the air, in the whisper of the trees. Love is in the air, in the thunder of the sea. And I know that I'm not just dreaming, I know that I'm feeling sane. It's something that I must believe in, and it's there when you call out my name. Love is in the air, love is in the air, oh. Love is in the air, in the rising of the sun. Love is in the air, when the day is nearly done. And I know that it's not an illusion, I know what I see is true, and it's something that I must believe in, 'cause it's there when I reach out to you. Love is in the air, everywhere I look around. Love is in the air, every sight and every sound. And I know that I'm not being foolish, I know that I'm being wise, and it's something that I must believe in, and it's there when I look in your eyes. Love is in the air, love is in the air, oh. Love is in the air, 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 oh love.
Alexander Lionheart. Love is in the air. Oh, you know, I love dancing at the beginning, but then it always puts me a little bit out of breath. Woo! So once again, good morning, beautiful humans, beautiful, this beautiful spiritual family that I see before me. I'm so grateful that we get to spend another glorious Sunday together. We are a spiritual community here at Unity of Tucson. We are here to teach practical tools, and by implementing those practical tools, what I have found is that my life has gotten better, and so that's what I'm here to offer, is that if you implement these practical tools, these spiritual tools in your life, life can and does get better. Now, you may not believe everything you hear today. That's okay. You're not required to believe everything. In fact, as I have said on occasion, I'm not here to tell you what to believe. That's not my job. My job is to offer a teaching, and you get to decide what you believe. You get to decide what you utilize. You get to decide, because we are individualizations of an infinite power, and as individualizations of this infinite power, each and every one of us has choice. And isn't that a good feeling, right? So you may not believe everything you hear today, but I think you will hear something you believe. And I also know that you are here on purpose. You are here on purpose. As I like to joke, even if somebody dragged you here, you are here on purpose, because there's a purpose within each and every one of us that attracts into our experience, and as our experience, that which is in alignment with that inner purpose. So what do you say we celebrate love today? Yeah? Because this is the month of love. It is February, and as we explore the 12 powers throughout this year, the month of February is the month of exploring the power of love. Now, we have a vision and a mission here at Unity of Tucson, and I would love for you to recite with me, say these words out loud, the words of our vision statement. We envision a world awakened to its magnificence. And the vision is how we see the world. And it's funny because there seems to be a future tense in this. We envision a world awakened at some point to its magnificence, right? But I think that we can allow that vision to be present right here in our hearts. And as we exclaim that we see a world awakened to its magnificence, that it is a right now experience. Now, a path to allowing that right now experience to unfold is phrased in the words of our mission statement, the active part of our path, and I would love for you to share these words with me. Love only, forgive everything, remember who you are. Love only, forgive everything, and remember who you are. Ultimately, that was the teaching of the Master Jesus. That's the teaching of all the great mystics of the world. Love only, forgive everything, and remember who you are. You are the infinite power and presence of a divine creativity that we call God. Now, if you're joining us for the first time today, if you're online joining us for the first time today, I do want to reach out and say hello and say I am so grateful that you have decided to share your Sunday morning with us, or whatever time you're watching, because these do get archived. You may not be watching on a Sunday morning. But I would love for you to make a connection with us if you are watching for the first time by going to unitytucson.com/connect and filling out some information there, and we will be sure to connect with you and get back to you, and love to have that, magnificent touchy-feely part of this whole thing called ministry, which sounds really bad. So I'm going to let that go for now. Sorry, sometimes I catch myself saying things, I'm like, that may not come out the way I was really intending for it to come out. If you're joining us for the first time and you're here in the room with us, we have a gift that we would like to offer to you. So if you are comfortable with identifying yourself by standing up, we're going to pass out some gifts to you. If you're here for the first time, we'd love to know. We would love to know. Oh, there, I was like, is this the first time? Hello, grateful to have you here, grateful to have you here. And if you would remain standing for just a moment, because what I also want to let you know is that this community does its research and we know something about you. Well, I know, shock, right? We know something about you. What is it that we know, everyone? On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. You are magnificent. Yes, you are. Thank you so much for shining a light and sharing your magnificence. Now, we know that about you. We know that you are magnificent because what we teach here is that every single person we encounter is a reflection of the inner part of our being, and so you are a reflection of our magnificence. So let us collectively say as a community, I am magnificent. And let's do that one more time together. I am magnificent. Yes, indeed. So we've adopted a ritual here at Unity of Tucson, and I will continue to utilize this ritual for as long as it serves this community. But I would like to invite to the stage our keeper of the flames today, Mary Alls. Let's thank Mary for serving today. The ritual is called Lighting the Flames of Faith. And what we are doing within this ritual is that we are lighting these candles, and for each one of these candles we are lighting, we are honoring one of the major faith traditions of the world, with the understanding that all religions, all spiritual ideas, all faith, it all comes from one source. It comes from God. It comes from love. And so let's celebrate that here. First, by lighting a candle for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium. We light a candle for the shamanic traditions, honoring the beliefs and practices of all indigenous people, the way of primal spirituality. We light a candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light a candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light a candle for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths, and the path of compassion. We light a candle for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. We light a candle for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of submission to the divine will of love as the highest calling. We light a candle for the universalistic religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and peace. And we light a candle for all forms of new thought, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles. And we light a candle for all faith traditions that go unnamed in this ceremony, and for any seekers who may be as yet unaware of the power and the presence of Spirit in their lives, and for the space that we keep open for them in our own hearts. This final candle we light is the healing candle. The healing candle represents the unfoldment or the uncovering of the God essence at the core of all circumstances, of all experiences. For what we teach within our philosophy is that as we find the God essence at the core of creation, of everything that exists, we experience healing. And so this is your candle for whatever is in your mind and in your heart that requires the light. Are you ready?
I'm always ready.
Oh, your microphone has disappeared. There it is. All right, I'm going to... Now people will be able to hear you.
Testing?
There we go.
Got it.
Not that they wouldn't be able to hear you. I know you. Oh, wait, it fell off your ear. So we're going to try that again. All right. Okay.
As long as my ear doesn't fall off, I'm happy.
There we go. So Mary is going to reflect on the homework that I offered last week. If you're new to our community, I give homework every week and invite this community to participate in applying that to their lives. That's part of the practicality of the philosophy that we teach. So the homework I gave last week was this. I gave it in 3 parts. Smile more. Smile more. I said last week, that children on average smile 400 times a day, and adults smile on average 20 times a day. We can learn something from children. So smile more. Also, converse beyond hello. And part of that is to ask questions, and in asking questions, truly listen to the answers that are offered in those questions you ask. Also, to give, because that is the nature of love, to be giving, to have a giving spirit, to give of your time, to give of your talent, and to give of your treasure. So I would like to know from you, Mary, how did that go for you last week?
Well, I smile a lot anyway, as y'all know. So that was an easy thing. I listened to people, and I went beyond hello. It took me twice as much time to do everything because I made so many friends. There must be hundreds of people out there that haven't seen anybody but their families in months. And believe me, I know more about the people in this town and their lives and their children and their grandchildren. And I had a really good time with that.
Wonderful.
Now, the last part. I want to give something to all of you. And this is kind of personal, so bear with me. I was very fortunate to be in a very bad car accident when I was 20. And I had a near-death experience, which was well worth the price. And the thing I want to share is just a couple of things that I think you will find to do with love. And the first one was, of course, the accident was pretty bad. I hit 3 trees, went through a brick wall, and ended up in somebody's living room. And so I did all the classic things. I floated out of my body, I looked down, and I thought, oh, what a mess. and then I started to leave. And I had only been married 6 months. And my thoughts were, I can't leave. What will he do without me? And a voice came, he will be just fine. That this is your journey, he has another journey, and it's okay. And that enabled me 50 years later when well, not quite 50, maybe 35, just seems like a long time ago. When he left this planet, I understood that his last thoughts were, what about her? And the same voice probably came and told him the same thing. She'll be okay. This is your journey. That's her journey. Okay. The second thing I wanted to share with you, when I got to the place, and I call it of all-knowing, I met with everybody, and I mean everybody. But there was one central voice that spoke to me, and they said, "You're not supposed to be here." And of course, my earthly teachings kicked in, and I went, "Oh, I'm going the other place." And I went, "This is bad." and with unconditional love. And if you take a new puppy and multiply it by 1,000 times, that's the love that you feel where everything is known. And it encompassed me with unconditional love. And it said, "No, you're just not finished yet. And you have to go back." And they said, "There is no judgment. It's only learning. But you're not done." And being the person that I am, as a kid, I used to say, "Can I just stay up and watch that program for just a little bit?" And my parents would say, "No." And I'd ask 2 or 3 times, and sometimes I'd win and get to stay up for a few minutes. So the same technique, still, remember, I'm still thinking with my earthly brain. And I said, "I'll go back on one condition."
All right.
Yeah. Of course, that was okay, because these are the people that know everything, or the entities that know everything. And they sort of laughed, and they said, "Okay." And I'm thinking, oh, I'm going to pick a hard one. And I said, "I want to know the secret of the universe." Good question, right? One word answer. Love. The secret of the universe is love. And I came to the understanding of what dark matter is at that moment. They didn't call it dark matter, but now they call things dark matter, dark, what else do they call it? Dark space, dark, whatever. And it's the space in between things. And I understood at that moment that as dark energy, that's the word I'm looking for, as the world is here and the whole universe is here, when love expands, the universe expands. That's awesome. When love does not expand, the universe will collapse in on itself. So that is the secret of the universe. It is one word, love. And I'll leave you with that.
Thank you so much, Mary. Mary Alls. Well, my work is done here. It really is the secret of the universe. I gave a talk once talking about dark matter and dark energy, and I said, I think that what it is consciousness. Well, consciousness is love. That, this mass that scientists haven't been able to figure out, this mass that makes up 85 or 90% of the universe, seems to be elusive. But I do believe that it's consciousness. I believe that it's love, that has weight. And so let's celebrate that. So we are continuing our 64 days in the service and celebration of the season for nonviolence. And today we have our peacemaker who is here to offer their giving nature today with some quotes and also an affirmation and also a practice. Now here's the thing that you need to know. Today, our peacemaker, our peacekeeper is doing double duty because she is also our prayer chaplain of the day. Please welcome Sherry Hoffman.
Good morning, and it's really not as much as it seems. I just got big. But it is a lot because today was a big word. So good morning. Our peace and nonviolence focus today is mission. Let's first clarify the meaning by turning to our good friend Merriam-Webster. According to the dictionary, a mission is a specific task with which a person is charged, as well as being defined as calling or vocation. For instance, her mission was to be a teacher. In our community, we have this mission: love only, forgive everything, remember who we are. Now for some quotes. Mahatma Gandhi said, you must be the change you wish to see in the world. He also offered this: a small body of determined spirits fired by an unquenchable faith in their mission can alter the course of history. Viktor Frankl, a psychiatrist, philosopher, and Nazi concentration camp survivor, reminds us, you don't create your mission in life, you detect it. And finally, here is the test to find out whether your mission on earth is finished. If you are alive, it isn't. This final quote is the wisdom of Richard Bach, author of Jonathan Livingston Seagull. So with these ideas in mind, let me share this week's affirmation and then move into the practice of the week. I will say the affirmation through once, and as I do, I invite you to really take in the words. The affirmation is, I remember who I am. I choose to forgive. I choose to love. This is my mission. Now let's say it together as a community. I remember who I am. I choose to forgive. I choose to love. This is my mission. Shall we say it one more time? I remember who I am. I choose to forgive. I choose to love. This is my mission. As spiritual peacemakers, we are a part of a not so small and ever-growing body, determined spirits around the world, fired up to alter the course of history through teaching and embodying love and nonviolence, through being love as a way of life. Think of what happened to the world when just one man, Mahatma Gandhi, sincerely took on this very mission. Imagine what we can do together. The theme of this year's season is nonviolence. For nonviolence is, let peace begin with me. Being love is a positive for our own lives and a positive for the world. What is missing so far is developing this idea as to what exactly is ours to do individually. So we consult our inner wisdom, the flow of all good at the core of our being, to find that answer. I invite you now to relax into your seats and start some slow, conscious, deep breaths until we have a comfortable rhythm. Breathing in and out. In and out. Now take some body scan and release any stress you may be holding. Close your eyes now if you feel comfortable, and place a hand over your heart. Put a gentle Mona Lisa smile on your face to help become conscious of that magnificent divine energy of yours, which is always flowing there. In and out. In and out. Now, ask your inner self to show you anything, anywhere within you that you, as love, might be being called to grow into now. In any part of your life, to share a talent, a skill, an idea, a service, a kindness, a blessing, a forgiveness. Ask now, what are my first steps? That is enough. You don't need a whole guidebook. Just for now, what are your first steps?
We are held in the hands of grace, forever safe in the arms of love. Like a child receives protection from a mother's warm embrace, we are held in the hands of grace. We are held in the hands of grace, forever safe in the arms of love. Like a child receives protection from a mother's warm embrace, we are held in the hands of
Knowing this grace, knowing there is only one presence, one power, God. That is all that is. That is all that's flowing around me and through me, protecting me, embracing me with love. A love so grand that it surrounds all of us. It increases the universe. We are love. I know that with this love, I can go out into the world and smile bigger, shine brighter, share love with everybody. I know that everything that is surrounding me is this love. As I look into everyone's eyes, I see that they are also this God, source energy. And when I look into their eyes, I share the love that I feel for them and this God that I know is me. I affirm that it is so. And with that, I say, so it is. Amen.
We are held in the hands of grace, forever safe in the arms of love. Like a child receives protection from a mother's warm embrace, we are held in the hands of grace. We are held in the hands of grace. Thank you, Sherry Hoffman.
Thank you.
You ready? Was I very intense? I come off as being very intense sometimes. It's just, I have one of those resting faces that feels very intense. So I think it's good for me to smile more. The song today, I asked Alex to sing this with me and as a duet because the original artists are a duet, and I just wanted to sing this song, and it's a fun song, isn't it? So fun. That's all I'm going to say about it as we start.
Fear, you're just a name that I have learned. Another way for me to turn. And you brought me here, and it took years for me to find that you were only in my mind. Hey, I've been looking in the wrong place. Couldn't see what I've always known. I was facing the wrong way. I missed it all, I missed it all. I don't care what they all say. Let me find my own way home. I don't care if my heart breaks. All I want is love.
That I hold close, there when I needed you the most. And you brought me here, where I can learn to love myself without the love of someone else. Hey, I've been looking in the wrong place. Couldn't see what I've always known. I was facing the wrong way. I missed it all, I missed it all. I don't care what they all say. Let me find my own way home. I don't care if my heart breaks. All I want is love. Oh, 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 oh. All I want is love. Oh, 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 oh. All I want is love. I don't care if my heart breaks. I don't care what they all say.
I don't care if my heart breaks.
I don't care what they all say.
Want is love.
I don't care if my heart breaks. I don't care what they all say.
I didn't see what I've always known. I was facing the wrong way. I missed it all, I missed it all.
I don't care what they all say.
Let me find my own way home.
I don't care if my heart breaks. All I want is love. I don't care what they all say. I don't care if my heart breaks.
All I want is love.
I don't care what they all say.
All I want is love.
I don't care if my heart breaks.
All I want is love.
Alexander Lionheart. Thank you so much for singing that with me. Play it again. It's a good song, isn't it?
It's terrific.
Yeah, that is a song by a group called A Great Big World, and I was introduced to A Great Big World probably 10 years ago. They had a big hit on the radio. It's the only hit that I know of that they've had like in a grand scale, like chart kind of way, and that was a song that was very sad. Say something, I'm giving up on you. Know that song? You ever hear that song? That's their song. This is a much more lively and appropriate song for a Sunday morning. So this song is talking about our journey, right? From fear to love. It starts off, fear. You're just another name that I have learned. I love that type of affirmation. You're just another name that I have learned, right? You're just another name that I have learned for all the stuff that I can look at out there and go, oh yes, my relationship to that stuff out there is one of fear. And hope. Now you've heard what I have to say about hope, right? Having only positive expectations. Because that is how I am reframing hope in my own life. Because here's the thing, in New Thought, one of the magnificent writers in the New Thought world was Ernest Holmes. He was the founder of another branch of the philosophy that became a religion, which I don't really like saying that we are a religion, but we've kind of structured ourselves as a religion. But Ernest Holmes said, hope is good, it's better than despair. But, he says, it's an unconscious compromise with spiritual truth. It's an unconscious compromise that we make. If we are at the place of hope, then there is the possibility for failure. Now, here's the thing. I want to acknowledge that that may be where some of us are right now, and that's okay. It's okay to be in the place of hope, because this thing called spirituality is a journey. And we are learning every single day practices in that journey. So if hope is where you are, know that you are on the path to love. You are on the path to love in such a magnificent, deep way that I believe we will all awaken to that understanding that Mary offered, that that's it. That's the secret of the universe. Love. That's it. So fear, hope, right? All looking at the decisions we have made and acknowledging that those decisions are the things that got us to right where we are. How many of you are happy with that? Oh, like just a couple, smattering like, oh yes, I'm very happy with where I am, yes. Everybody else is going, I don't know. You weren't expecting me to ask the question, so that's okay. I sometimes can look back on my life with regret. And if that's the paradigm that I'm approaching my experience with, well then, the things that got me here are not so much fun. But that's a choice. It's a choice. I don't believe that we are relegated to be tied to those decisions. We get to change, not the past, because we cannot change the past, but we can change our present. We can change our relationship to those things. I've got a hair that's like right there. We can change our present by releasing the grip that the past can have on us. And that's the value of spiritual practice. It is one of those things that we can engage in to release that grip that the past has on us. Now, one of the practices that I have offered in the past, and I'm going to talk about a practice that I offered in 2013. I also offered this in, it was probably 2018 or 19. And I look at William because William had a real reaction to this practice when I offered it back in the day. The practice is this: spend a week saying yes to everything. Remember that one, William? Spend a week saying yes to everything. And so in 2013, when I first offered this practice, I got a call from a colleague of mine, and he said, "Come with me to Guatemala." And I thought to myself, no. It was a volunteer trip to go there and serve as a volunteer. But acknowledging that I had to walk the talk, I said yes. I said yes. That was in 2013. We went in 2014. And it was an extraordinary trip. I have been back another time beyond that, and I look forward to going back to serve in this community, which is a really special community. And I've talked about, my experiences there in messages that I've given in the past, because it's a community of children who are in a boarding school. Some of them are orphans, but they don't like it when we say that it's an orphanage. But it's also serving the greater community in this area of Guatemala that is drastically underserved. It affords these children the opportunity to go to school 5 days a week in a country where most children only get to go to school 1 day a week because the rest of the time they have to work. That's the life that they have there, right? So we're there and supporting the school and doing the work that we do. And I want to say it's not with this idea that we're there to save them in any way. It's there to support their well-being in whatever way we can. Not to say that we have anything over them that, if they come to our way of being, they're going to, be something. That was not the point at all. It's about saying, we see you and we want to support you. Now, the vision that we have here at Unity, right? A world awakened to its magnificence. That's the kind of vision that inspires me to take conscious action. to take conscious action. That's where the rubber hits the road, right? When we take conscious action. It's where we begin to spiritualize the intellect in the activities that we do, and we stop intellectualizing the spirit. Our work here is to spiritualize the intellect in such a way that it motivates us into action, motivates us into that place of mission. So the spiritual philosophy that we teach requires action. Nobody ever likes to hear that. They're like, oh, I have to work at this? Yeah, but here's the thing that I know. If it is not impelling action within you to adopt a spiritual philosophy, then what are you doing? What are you doing? I'd ask myself that question, because I came to this philosophy early on very intellectually. It's a very appealing philosophy for the intellectuals, right? It's like, oh, I get to learn something, I get to read books, and I get to look at those books and say, oh, what a lovely book. But as I talked about in class on Wednesday, this means nothing until we drop from the intellect to the heart and we allow the heart to spiritualize the intellect, and that's what leads us into activity. It is not enough to simply think and believe. We must act upon those thoughts and beliefs. We teach a philosophy that says, change your thinking, change your life. Change your beliefs, change your life. Well, the thing is, once you have changed your thoughts and beliefs, the change your life part is the activity. And so we must move forward, I believe, and what I teach is that it is ours to move forward with magnificent intention in our lives. Now, if we are relying solely on the intellect, intention is simply a good idea, because intention implies action. The mentor of my mentor, minister named Dr. David Walker, defined intention in this way. He said once, if I decide that I'm going to go to the movie, it's a good idea. It's a good idea until I actually get up off the couch, go get in my car, drive to the movie theater, buy my ticket, go in and get my popcorn, go in and sit down and enjoy the movie. That's how he said that's a good idea, moving into intention, when you actually follow through. Our work is to follow through on who we say we are, which is infinite love, infinite light, infinite life. If we say we are magnificent, how does that inform our intention? How does that inform our experience? I mean, we've heard no risk, no reward. You ever hear that? But the risk we take, I believe, must be rooted in that belief. In that infinite, unchangeable place of spiritual truth that we can adopt as our belief. And when we do that, we develop, and I'm going to use some jargon here, jargon words. We develop a mental equivalent. A mental equivalent. Now, a mental equivalent is simply the divine idea that shows up in form. That form out there is the construct of a mental equivalent, which is just an idea. And ideas are the substance of life. Now, equivalent in this philosophy was defined by Charles Fillmore in this way. Our demonstrations are equivalent to the power and illumination contained in our realizations. We receive according to our capacity to receive. We receive according to our capacity to receive. You see some words up there that perhaps make it a little convoluted, because we love our jargon. Every philosophy loves its jargon, right? I want to talk about demonstrations real quick. Demonstration is the expression in form that is the answer to the prayer. That's what a demonstration is. The expression in form, which is the answer to the prayer. A realization is the inner conviction that the prayer is answered. That is faith. So the realization is that which is within, the demonstration is that which flows forth from the realization into actuality. So we receive according to our capacity to receive is simply stating that we demonstrate according to our capacity to realize. We express according to the capacity of our inner conviction that a prayer is answered. That's faith. That's faith. So what is ours to do? That's really the question that comes up for me. What is ours to do? Our only work is to realize. Our only work is to realize, to allow ourselves to move to that place of inner conviction. And I believe that place of inner conviction, if we are rooted in love, forgiveness, and that remembering who we are, then the action that flows forth creates a magnificent demonstration of life. We claim here every single week, I am magnificent. Check in with yourself. How deeply do you believe that? When I ask everyone in this room to say, I am magnificent, is there some little thing happening in the back of your mind that doubts at all? That's the work to be done, to let that doubt be revealed and then allow it to be overtaken by your faith. A Great Big World, I said before, is a duo. A guy named Ian Axel and Chad King, and they met in musical theater school, and they realized that they had this capacity to write music together that was something they wanted to, explore. So they ended up, I think they ultimately left musical theater school because they started writing music together, and then they had this hit, and then they went on tour, and the things that happen when you're successful in the music industry in that particular way. Well, Chad King, part of this duo, in 2007 was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis in his early 20s. And the diagnosis at the time was that he would be paralyzed, fully paralyzed within 7 years from this course of MS. But he believed in an alternate option. And he demonstrated that realization guided by infinite wisdom. And now, what is this? 15 years later, he is still fully mobile, still creating music, still living a most extraordinary life, in spite of what he was told. So that's a demonstration. And I think things like that, that's what so many of us want. We want to demonstrate, right? But it takes conviction, it takes courage, it takes faith, and ultimately it takes love. And that's the enigma. That's the enigma. We often place our focus on creating something out there. We often place our focus on the form. How am I going to manipulate or coerce the form into being what I want it to be? And we often forget that we have an inner GPS, a God-providing system. And that God-providing system, that GPS, impels us into action, to know what it is that is in support of our most magnificent expression. We've been living in a very unique, unless you were in the 1918 Spanish flu, if you experienced that, which I don't think anybody in here did, we've been living through a very interesting and unique experience for a lot of us these past couple of years. And oftentimes I think we're looking to manipulate the form out there rather than knowing who we are to such a degree that we are led through love to the experience of the demonstration of healing and health. But we so want to take care of that out there. Now, this does require inner wisdom to know what is ours to do, because the experience is not separate from God. If we believe that anything is separate from God, well, that's where potential disaster lies, because there is nothing separate from God. Nothing at all. Our work is to demonstrate love through the realization of love. Love is not derived. Health is not derived. Joy is not derived from anything out there. It is reflected by that which is here. love, health, joy. It's all active impulse that can motivate us forward. It's all active impulse that can motivate us forward. Mother Teresa wrote, "Love begins at home." And it's not how much we do, but how much love we put into the action. And so if we are looking to demonstrate something in the world of our experience, it's around looking within and finding, how much love can I infuse in this good? How much love can I infuse? How much love can I put into this good and let it flow forth as action? So the enigma in wanting love is acknowledging that love is already here, right here within each and every one of us. It is the secret of the universe. And our desire is fulfilled in expressing that which is within rather than trying to compel it into being. So let us take this to the world. Let us take this to the world. Let us take to the world that we are not here to compel the world into being a better place, but to make our own lives so much more fulfilling through a reflection of our inner love that in and of itself makes the world a better place. It's like Gandhi said, be the change you wish to see in the world. Be the love you wish to see in the world. Be the light you wish to see in the world. Be the life you wish to see in the world. The creative resource at the center of our being, that's God, is working all the time. All the time. And you know what? We are at choice. Like I said before, we are at choice in terms of how to let that work flow forth in the expression and experience of our life. We are at choice to be aligned with the inner resource and let those actions follow. Have the desire. Have the desire. Believe that it can be. Act upon that belief and deepen your realization that the desire, the belief, and the action are backed by an infinite power of creation. And that is how we make our lives better. That is my blessing today, to understand that so deeply that I get to share it with you. Peace and blessings. You are magnificent. So the homework today is not to say yes to everything. Darn. But here's what I do want you to do. I want you to say yes to things this week that bring up fear in you. Say yes to things this week that bring up fear in you. Tell your fear that your love is greater. That's the homework this week. So take a moment to reflect on any kernel of truth that may resonate with you as we settle into this time of reflection. In the stillness of this moment, I feel love. I feel love. In the stillness of this moment, I feel love. I feel love. And I rest and trust and breathe and know that in the stillness of this moment I feel love. In the stillness of this moment I am peace. I am peace. stillness of this moment, I take the opportunity and invite us all to take the opportunity to reflect upon this understanding that there is only one infinite power and presence. There is only one source. There is only one principle. There is only God. There is nothing else. And between God and me, there is no between. Between God and we, there is no between. For God, being all, includes each and every one of us. So we are this power, we are this presence. God is our identity. And so the whole infinite power of creation is at our command. And I know that this is rooted within each and every one of us at this moment and in every moment, rooted in love only. I trust in the flow of love as the creative impulse of this thing called life. I trust that love is the infinite, ultimate realization that flows forth into demonstration in this world. And it is with gratitude overflowing that I allow, with an open and receptive heart, this to be, knowing that my word spoken is complete. I know it to be so. And affirm it as so by saying, and so it is. Amen. In the stillness of this moment, I am love. I am love. In the stillness of this moment, I am love. I am love. And I rest and trust and breathe and know that in the stillness of this moment I am loved. So it is. Amen. I'd like to invite the treasurer on our board of directors, Steve Ross, to the platform. Please welcome Steve.
So as Sherry was showing, I have my view graphs for this afternoon. So I'll give you a little teaser, a little foreshadowing here. So on slide 2, I have the number 1,253. And then on slide 5, I have a 13% increase. So think about that. Come back at 11:30 and find out all the details. And don't worry, I only have 6 slides, so there's not a big deal here. So anyway, so we all talk about how we support this church when we get up here on Sundays, and you know, I want you all to think about why you support this church. You know, what does it mean for you? How does it feel for you? I know, you know, I give blood regularly, and I go give blood, and you know, at least a couple times I've gone and give blood, and I have the antigens for babies, so they've taken my blood, put it in a different cooler, and loaded it in a car and took it somewhere, you know, directly out of my arm. And it's like, yay, it's going to the hospital. Somebody needs to do a surgery this afternoon. So that really makes me feel good. Does it make you feel like that when you give to this church? It does me, you know, so think about that. So let's see, we're going to be passing the baskets. You all know there's lots of different ways to give. A lot of people are doing automatic giving. You know, when we count on Sundays, you know, I used to count 4 or 5 years ago, and it was an hour-long process, and nowadays it's much shorter because people are automatically giving, so it makes our job easier. So anyway, we got our
Giving a statement?
Our giving a statement.
Yes.
Let's speak it together. I share this gift with love, conscious of the inner presence as the lavish source of substance of my supply. I am rooted in the assurance that this gift blesses Unity of Tucson, and I trust in its ever-present circulation, knowing its blessings return to me, and so it is.
As the baskets go around, feel free to move your body as we share our giving song together. Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful, 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 I'm so grateful again. Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful, 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 I'm so grateful. Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful, 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 I'm so grateful. Thank you so much. As the baskets make their completion in their circulation through the room, I just want to take this moment to honor everything that has been placed in these baskets, knowing that they move through the impulse of love is in those baskets, and as it moves through this place, it blesses not just Unity of Tucson, but this entire city, this entire state, this entire world, that is the power that we have at hand. And so I give great honor for everything that has been collected here, knowing that this is just a temporary stop and it's gonna do so much good in the world. So thank you for that. Continuing, we do have our spiritual education series that is unfolding. I'm a little tongue-tied. I don't know what's going on with me. I'm gonna take just a moment. All right. So we do currently have a class on Wednesday nights. It is our Foundations of Unity class, but we have another class that will begin March 23rd that is going to be taught by our licensed Unity teacher here, Susan Smith. I saw Susan. There she is, waving her hand. She is going to be teaching the 12 powers beginning March 23rd. If you would like to register, you can do that online. You can also register in the Desert Light bookstore, so check that out. It's a great class. I loved taking that class when I was moving through my path to ordination. We also have a walk that we are going to participate in as a team. The National Association for Mental Illness is having their walk on April 2nd. You can join the Unity of Tucson walk team. There is information on that is in Harmony Hall, so check that out. You can sign up there. Susan is also leading that, so if you have any questions, you can reach out to Susan about that. Not next Sunday. This is today. My notes up there say next Sunday, but this is today. Today after service is our annual general meeting, our annual membership meeting. The opportunity that you have to learn about the state of the church, where we have been, and also where we are planning to go. So would love to have you stay with us for that. I do want to let you know a couple things around that. We do have coffee that is available in Harmony Hall. At the completion of service, we have a little bit of a technical change that we need to take care of. So especially kind of in this front area, we're going to need to be doing a little work up here. So at the completion of service, if you could make sure that you kind of go back, and then we will do the turnover as quickly as possible, and we're going to try to have the meeting going as close to 11:30 as possible. So enjoy your coffee and then come right back in and we will start the meeting. Clear? Awesome, yes. We do have need, as always, for support in our youth and family ministries. We have magnificent young people who spend Sunday over with Chris Paxton, who is our youth and family ministries manager, and we are always looking for people to support that. If you are interested in working with the Youth of Unity, with our kids, we'd love to know that. There's a way to sign up in the foyer. You can also send an email to yfm@unitytucson.com. Today's prayer chaplains, did I get this right? It's Sherry and Sue? Yes, it is Sherry and Sue. So Sue Craik and Sherry are our prayer chaplains today. If you have need of prayer after the service today, you can seek them out. They will be here in the sanctuary. You can also always, if you have need of prayer, fill out a prayer request form and put it into the prayer box. The prayer box is in the foyer as well. So thank you. I want to say thank you to everybody who made today the awesome, fun, lighthearted, uplifting celebration that it was for me. I don't know how it was for you. I do want to say thank you to our magnificent tech crew, Wally and Don and Greg, for your magnificent support. I would like to say thank you to Steve Ross and to Mary Alls and to Sherry Hoffman, who are in service today on the platform. Yes, yes, yes. Let us give great thanks to this magnificent team of musicians, Linda and Joshua and Raphael. And let's hear it for Alexandra Lionheart. Thank you, thank you. And I want to say thank you to each and every one of you, whether you're watching online or you're in the room. Your energy makes this experience what it is, and I'm deeply grateful for you and your time spent here with me in celebration. So thank you for being here. Let's share together our closing prayer. I am infinite light. I am infinite love. I am infinite power. I am infinite presence. Wherever God is, I am. Wherever I am, God is. And so it is. Amen. Feel free to move your body. As we end the day, putting a little love in our hearts. Think of your fellow man, lend him a helping hand. Put a little love in your heart. You see it's getting late. Oh, please don't hesitate. Put a little love in your heart, and the world will be a better place, and the world will be a better place for you, and me, Just wait and see. Another day goes by, and still the children cry. Put a little love in your heart. If you want the world to know, we won't let hatred grow. Put a little love in your heart, and the world will be a better place, and the world will be a better place for you and me. Just wait and see. Wait and see. Take a good look around, and if you're looking down, put a little love in your heart. I hope when you decide, kindness will be your guide. Put a little love in your heart, and the world will be a better place, and the world will be a better place for you and me. Just wait and see. Put a little love in your heart. Each and every day. Put a little love in your heart. There is no better way. Put a little love in your heart. It's all up to you. Put a little love in your heart. Make it a magnificent week, everyone. We'll see you at the meeting.